Good day, good day. Welcome, welcome. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm Jay, and this is Homeschool Your Kids podcast. Today we have with us Dr. Lala. Introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Dr. Lala, everyone. I have been in education for 22 years now. So I'm excited to be diving into my own space. I have a book that for College Success guide. So that's what I kind of want to introduce to the community and how I can help with guiding students along. I've been working with high schoolers for these 22 years. So that's my thing, specialist for college readiness. So I'm excited of what the future brings. And as a budding entrepreneur with my own LLCs now and growing my education consulting business, it has been just like a great journey for me. So moving out of the space of just my regular 9 to 5, which was never just 9 to 5. But I'm excited to move into my own entrepreneurship space and still help the youth because that's my main goal. Is to continue to help youth and their families to seek their legacy, to keep on moving and going.
Nice, nice. So you've been in education for 22 years. You've been in the classroom. How have you been?
So I am the associate director for a TRIO program in the Bronx. So I was actually in that TRIO program as a student, as a high school student.
Really?
Yeah, and middle school student. So yeah, so I kind of landed there. Um, I went to college. I was in medicine because I love medicine too. So I didn't become the doctor, but I do have my RN license, which I got later on. But my heart is still with getting the youth and helping them through health careers, through the different steps as they go through the college application process. So that's where my love kind of lies. Although I love medicine. So anybody going into those health careers, I can guide them along in that direction. So yeah, so that's how I landed in the education space. So I've been the Upper Bound Associate Director at Bronx Community College, and of course now I'm transitioning out into my own business. But that's what I have done for the past 22 years, and I loved it because I was a student who loved the program when I was in it.
That's
So
what I was gonna say. It made such an impact on you. Like,
it did,
what
it
is this
did.
program? What is it?
Oh, so Upper Bound, we call it TRIO Upper Bound, is a federally funded grant program. So TRIO is comprised of 7 different programs in the Department of Ed, the Federal Department of Ed. And it has 2 pre-college programs, talent search, educational talent search. There's Upward Bound that works with high schoolers. The talent search program, actually, some of them work with middle school and high school. And then we have the college piece, which is student support services. So it's like an Upward Bound for college students. We have the McNair program. I forgot one more. We have 3 pre-college, Upward Bound Math and Science, that's geared, to STEM. And then, so the college piece, the McNair program is to help students get into grad school. And these are low-income first-gen students all across the US. So I was fortunate enough to sit on the board. I was president of this region for New York and New Jersey a couple of years back. So I've gotten the chance to meet with all the different regions and all the different people. And we kind of get together once a year, so we get to see each other. But the work is, it's advocacy work. It's making sure that our students thrive, not just
Okay.
get into college, not just get through high school, but that they thrive. So they're just not there. So we give different education resources. So that's where my wealth of knowledge comes from all these years doing that. But the programs are great, but we only serve 1% of the population. So they're grant funded programs. So, the federal government gives us so much. We would love to expand more, but and every 5 years you're on the clock when it goes to grant programs. So you can get defunded
Right.
anytime. So, but they
So,
are there to help and hold up the community.
okay, so is it a traditional school? Is it is it associated with public school or is it
So the grant programs, different entities can have it. So the majority of TRIO programs, both pre-college and college, of course, is on college campuses. They're housed on college campuses. So although we're
okay.
housed on a college campus, but we serve high school students. So it's that keep
Okay.
that pipeline going so that students don't have such a hard time. transitioning from that high school space to the college space. And then the middle schoolers, helping them transition from middle school to high school, and just giving them those resources. And with the pre-college programs, a lot of them in the summertime, you actually get to live on campus. So if they want to go away, they're kind of used to it. It's no shocker when they get there and like, how do I navigate all of this? So in writing the book, I wanted something short and a guide for them, so that after all these years and seeing how students do and don't do, and me as a low income first gen student too, just seeing how I can navigate in little pieces that can make it a little bit easier. That, you know, we give the students a lot of information, but they're not going back to PowerPoints to go back and read it. So
yeah, right.
It's a nice little thing to give them so that they can go back. Oh, how do I navigate campus? Oh, what do I need to do? Okay, the first day. Okay, what offices do I need to find and make sure I know on my campus? And just to help them thrive that.
Nice. So is it like a big buddy program, like a mentorship type of deal? Is it like, you know,
it's all of it. It's a little mirage of all of it. So I'll tell you. So for our Upward Bound program, so you go through an academic year where we have Saturday classes. So they come math, science, English. Traditionally, most of the schools will give 4 classes, and it's just supplement because the students come from different high schools. So we partner with different high schools, and we also have students in the area. So everybody's at a different level, but it's like supplement the general overall. The teachers will teach them general overall. But then the summertime, like I said, they get that experience, that away experience. Other than the pandemic, we're slowed everything down. But now we're back to going on trips or taking the week-long college trips and just introducing it to them young. Mm-hmm. And from freshman year, and we take some of the middle schoolers, so they're really young, introducing it, but they ask great questions. So you want to pique their interest younger, as young as you can do it, and then so that they can go on and use the information and feel comfortable going to school. So more enrichment. So it's extra. It's extracurricular because they don't have to do it. And it does demand work. Like we're demanding them to come to class, and it's supplement. So we also tell them we're trying to teach you to be a little bit more responsible and relying from mom or dad to tell you go do your homework, or you know, you have to be responsible for you. If you don't come to class, no, you need to call us and tell us why you're not coming to class. And then holding them responsible, looking at their grades. So it is like a holding your hand until they leave us so they can go on. And then once they go into college too, I mean, our goal is for them to go to a college, whether they go to 2-year or 4-year. But some of the students don't, but it's still, we're there to support them through that too. Because some go to the military, some they just do other things. Some go to proprietary, so some go to career schools, I should say. Mm-hmm. So we just try to support them through that. And they come and ask us questions. We do their financial aid with them. So they do get a lot of support. And our seniors get a lot of extra support through their senior year. So doing applications and things and looking through their stuff. And just making sure that they're supported. And if their parents have questions, that too. And then we'll have workshops as well every year on financial aid, financial literacy. And then the college readiness piece for both parents and students. Because often parents get a little bit lost and like, okay, you guys are doing it with them, but they need to know the process now too, especially since the FAFSA has changed. So that's what piqued my interest with the homeschooling part, because a lot of times parents don't really understand that piece either. And now that it changed and it's a little weird and janky, like it's all a little bit all messed up. So people need guidance to go through that process. And it's good to, you know, to know that I have the knowledge to help them get through that too.
Yes. Yeah, no, I love that. So from the Outward Bound programs, through the school, well, the grant program, that's what was your brain, like kind of fueled your brainchild with the Seek legacy now.
Yes, it did. So, you know, you see a lot of, sometimes the same cycle that goes around, and you want that cycle to be broken. And like, we don't have to stay in poverty. We don't have to stay in poverty. So the pandemic kind of opened my eyes, and we had to shift and to do stuff different oh, you have to think quick because we still need to serve these students. And we have to meet them where they're at. As opposed to they can't come on campus. You know, look, we can't come on campus. We weren't there. So it started to fuel me like, what other things can I do? And then in my life, having a 6-year-old now, she's 6, but she was little then, and trying to transition to have one at home and trying to do with the students. It was such a learning experience, but I was like, there gotta be more. And I said, legacy building is something we don't necessarily harp on, we don't necessarily teach. And there's other things you can do. So you can go to school, but I encourage all of them, what can you do outside of school to help you start making your money, investing, like looking at your future a little bit differently? Because we look at it a little bit later. Like I was like, it took a whole pandemic to start really like thinking about, okay, how am I investing? Okay, let me set up an account for my daughter. So me, I want to empower moms too. Like, we can do that. And you don't have to have a lot of money to do it, but you can start somewhere. Like, you have to set them up. Like, our generation, our youth, our future, they're going to take care of us. They're going to do stuff. So yes, we need them to be doctors. We need them to be lawyers. We need them to be teachers. We need all of it, but they don't got to be broke either doing it. So, you know, education can be one of those things that you're not making a lot of money, even in the grant program. So I had to take a look at my own life and be like, I need to make more. Like, I was like, love it, been here a long time, but I kind of need to make more for my family to work. You're like, you know, these bills aren't going anywhere. This debt isn't going anywhere. So it made me totally look at things, a shift and looking at it. And I was like, legacy building, they need to learn how to build their legacy. Like, they past their parents, you know, a lot of the parents are poor, they didn't go to school, and they're struggling. They're on the struggle bus. So I was like, we don't have to live like that. Like, we can do little things for them to start making their futures brighter, and for you to start as a parent and think to make, okay, what am I going to do? Like, outlook, future. Like, I gotta get it together, you know, just don't think I live in the present and that's it. No.
Yeah, no, I like that, because I don't think legacy is something that was discussed like growing up, like your legacy in general.
Not at all.
You know, I think about us talking about legends, like, you know, we talk about legends, but legacy and knowing that we all, and knowing we all have one, that wasn't something I feel was like really talked about when we were growing up.
At all.
Yeah.
Even our parents, and I think, you know, you hear about retirement and things, and oh yeah, that's future far away. But no, what is your impact that you're gonna leave? We never know when we're gonna leave, and the pandemic taught us that. It took all ages, you know. A lot of people passed away from all different ages. And I've had friends who passed away from certain diseases too that have taken a lot of younger people. And how did you set up? You know, a lot of people got lost in the shuffle, you know, trying to bury people and things. We don't talk about life insurance. We don't talk about a lot of things that we should talk about. Just because you're a lower or make less doesn't mean that you can't be building for your future and just be like, oh, when it hits, oh, I gotta go do a GoFundMe. No, you should have life insurance set up from the get-go for your kid, you know, like, so it's little things. And it doesn't have, like I said, it doesn't have to. I think when we think of certain things, we think of, oh my God, this is going to be so expensive. I can't do this. I'm broke already. We spend a lot of money on things that we can take $5. Like my daughter's insurance account. Yeah, it's $5 a week. You can do it monthly, put in $20. No, you got $20. Broke as people are, and some people are broke, but as broke as people are, you can put $20 because you find it for food. McDonald's is very expensive. Now, you can spend $10. I mean, yes, you could go on the cheapest side, but for a meal, it's like almost $10. I don't know. No. So don't get the McDonald's one week, you know, if you're not gonna do it, because you got to know where your money's going and kind of set your kids up. And if you don't do it for you, at least do it for your kids. Start setting it up.
Yeah. But I don't think it's necessary. Like you said, or like we both have said, like the conversations weren't necessarily had. So people, I know with me growing up, people weren't talking to me about investments and things like that. No. I later found out that my dad had investments and stuff, and I'm just like, well, why did you tell me? Like, you know, yeah, right? Like, why you didn't think to tell me how you were garnering your wealth and getting ready for retirement, like, you know, in your way.
And it should have been something to discuss, because you expect. I don't expect my daughter to struggle the way I struggle and learn late about money and just being crushed by debt and feeling terrible and stressed out while you're trying to help people's children. And you don't want to give that up, but you're right. It's a discussion. Look, your dad actually had investments and stuff, and he didn't discuss that, but it should have been, you want your kids to have choices. Yeah. You as an adult, if you don't have kids, you got family. You want them to have choices, and they don't have to feel stuck. I gotta do this job. I gotta get this answer. I gotta be stuck here because I need money. I can't have. You can do both. You can do both. So you don't feel crushed by that. And then some of the habits, some of the bad habits, you know, getting things, you know, that you can't pay for. If you don't have the money to pay for it, then we shouldn't be getting it. That's not a conversation that's had a lot. We just kind of go to college, kind of go on the street, you hit 18, whether you're working or thing, and they throw those credit cards at them. So they still do it in a different sort of way, but there's constant stimulation, emails and things. Get this. So it's a bombardment, and they do it. Then they're in debt. I can't pay this.
Yeah, because nobody told them how or what. No. Like, oh, like, you know, you get something in the mail and it's telling you, oh, come on, look, activate me and you can get $500 today. Yeah. What? But you need 18. What? $500? It's the weekend.
Like, and I think some serious conversations need to be had too, because there's a lot of adults. When I just I tapped into, and I chose to tap into my 403B to leave because I was feeling crushed by my debt, and I couldn't pay it, and I'm living on E. I was like, there's no way that this is happening, and this 403B money is sitting here, and I can't use it. Oh no, I got to sever ties, and I got to use it. Yeah, because I shouldn't feel like that. I was like, and it's amazing how a lot of us we don't use it, we don't tap into it, but we don't have those financial conversations. So until it's upon us, that's when the conversation starts to be, and you start to look like, oh man, how am I going to do this? This is crazy.
I know. When I started paying into a 401, I didn't know I could take out from it. Like, I didn't know that it was accessible to me.
I think there's a lot of things that we don't know. Now you have to, so 403Bs or 401Ks, it depends, because some 401Ks you can borrow against it, but I was like, well, I need to borrow against mine. No. I'm just gonna take mine. I'm gonna sever ties. I can come back, but I gotta sever from this job because I need money. Yeah. And it's which one. A lot of us just keep going and we'll just be underwater. And that's not a good way to live, you know? So there's little things that I have learned in this past year, especially too, and having these business and then wanting to go on business by myself, that I just had to make those tough choices and those tough decisions. Okay, what am I gonna do? Something has to shift, because I don't want to be stressed out and have a heart attack and I lose my child. Yeah. And I would leave her with all this debt. Oh, my husband. You know, like, no. So mama got to figure it out. And this is what I have to do for my life, because I don't want to be stressed out.
Oh, I understand. Like, I know my generation or our generation, I feel like we all on that point where it's like, okay, we're gaining this financial literacy that is definitely, you know, helping us reach that goal of freedom. But it's also knowing that, okay, we've learned this late. We want our children to learn it early, you know?
Definitely.
So it's that breaking of the cycle. That's definitely a cycle. I feel like our generation is aiming to achieve.
We're trying, yeah. We
Yeah,
definitely are trying. No,
yeah,
it can't be the same. Something got to give and change.
right, right.
And we just have to teach. We just have to get to our youth and teach them different. And somebody has
Yes.
to have the conversations too. So that's the thing too. Certain things are still a lot hush hush. Like still don't
Right.
talk about a lot of things.
I be
Like
feeling like people be gatekeeping information too, though.
they
Like I just told you how
do.
my dad had a whole investment. He was invested in stocks and everything else, and
Well, look
never
at
really
that.
had that information. Never thought to share it with your
And he could have
children.
started you early. Like he should have been
Yes.
investing for you. Like there should have been a whole separate account for you. And you
Mm-mm.
start buying stocks,
No,
and
he
little
wasn't
things. And
thinking of me.
to teach your children, we invest, we buy a lot of people's clothes and stuff, but we not invested in their company. We ain't making no money
Mm-hmm.
off of them when they get rich. So that's part of it of getting a stock. If you're gonna spend all this money on Nike sneakers, uh,
Yes.
you might want to buy a stock and a share in it at
Yeah.
least. So as it goes up and learn a little bit. There's nothing wrong with teaching our kids a little bit about it. You learn about it in economics in high school for one semester,
I'm
and
gonna
that's
say
about all
yeah. It's
you
real
hear.
brief though. Real,
Yeah, very
real.
brief, and that's all you hear. Nobody's actually telling you as you get older and think about buying this. Take your little money. Kids got their little jobs now, or they got a
Mm.
little bit of take it and do something to start investing. And by the time you get to our age, like it'll have grown. Like you'll have had it.
Substantially. Yes, yes, yes. What does legacy mean for you? Like when you speak on seek legacy, I feel like you kind of like breezed on it, but what
So
does it mean for you?
legacy means for me, what is the impact you're leaving for the future generation? And how are you setting that up? So that your families don't have to go through the same struggle that you did.
Yeah. And
So
so
that's what
through
it really, really is for me. And that's what I really want people to start thinking about. How can and everybody can impact the world because no two people went through the same situations and come out the same. So we all, little things, you telling your story to somebody. I was just talking the other day to somebody I know for a while, but I didn't know her story about how she had her kids.
um,
And it was interesting because a lot of us women go through struggles with having kids sometimes, but nobody really talks about it. Don't really talk about it. It's kind of just, women, if you have kids, you have kids. If you don't, but a lot of us go through the same struggle. If we kind of spoke to each other and then parenting and certain hacks and helping and bringing each other up is helpful. So, people can put out their journals. This digital space is wild and open, okay, for the taking. So I want people to, when they're thinking about their legacies, what can you do to leave a lasting impact? Like my book is out there now. The book will never go away.
right?
It's written, it's done, it's there. And it can stay there till the end of time, far past me.
Yeah.
Because there's general principles that kids, college bound students can use for forever.
Yeah.
So it's little things that everybody has their thing. You might be a good baker, something in your family recipe that you need to put out there. You can blog about it, you can talk about it. And
Mm-hmm.
these kids are ingenious. They do a lot of things, all this hair and thing. There's so much money in those industries that they can put out
Yeah.
their little guides and things. Like there's so many things that you can do and tutorials and things like that. Other moms can teach other moms about hacks and things like that you can use with your kid. What's a good product that you're using? So you just want I want people to use um their voices to help them build their legacy so they can have something that can make money for them for forever and learn how to make those investments, those things like that actually a lot of people build wealth through investing. But
Nice.
learning
You work.
about those things.
Yes. 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 Because you don't know what you don't know.
You don't.
Uh,
Correct.
are you working with parents and kids?
So I can do both. So I do consulting. I mean, for years, of course, I worked with parents and helping them have long conversations with lots of parents over the years, and just helping them and navigating child and parent through what they needed to go through, for education, some of their frustrations, as a parent. And I realized being a mom and think why kids don't listen to their parents. You could say the same thing the parent just said.
No,
The kid
don't
will listen
listen.
to they listen to the other person and not you, even though you know the same thing. But now you don't know what you're talking about, mom and dad. But it's just it's helping both of them. So I can consult with either one. Preferably both together when it's doing college stuff, so that the parent knows what's going on and the student knows what's going on, so they can help each other. And it doesn't seem like, oh, they're handling it, or the school is handling it. No, because the schools are understaffed too. So, and then when it relates to homeschooling, if you're by yourself and there is no counselor there is no college counselor there to be doing and helping this, through that process and starting that process early. So I think from freshman year, we should have a little bit of a conversation about what they want to go, what piques their interest. So that they don't get to senior year and it's like, oh man, I got to pick a major, I got to pick a school. Oh, they should be looking at schools. Okay, what does the school need? What's your dream school? Where do you want to go? And they start thinking about it, and then let them visit schools. What does it mean to go to school? What does it mean to be in college? I see a lot of students pick crappy majors that are not going to have them go anywhere. What are you going to do with that? So it's the extra thought and analysis into how are we gonna get you there? What do you need? And what are these skills that you need to build so that you will be successful in it, not just get there? Because a lot of kids get there and they drop out after first year because there's plenty of roadblocks, especially for low-income first-gen students. There's plenty of roadblocks to set you off course. There's nasty people who don't want to see you succeed. And you'll meet the people. And I realize with people, sometimes they don't even mean to be so rude, let's say, to people in certain offices, financial aid offices, Versailles office. They don't necessarily all mean that, but people bring their baggage to work. But then you turn that student off. If you're roadblocking them, I remember at one of the schools, I got so frustrated. I was like, wait, I said, if I'm getting frustrated and I had a degree already, I'm like, what are y'all doing? And this was in a nursing program. And I was so turned off. I was like, I don't want to be here. This is how you support students. If this is how you support students, so I don't want nothing to do with it. I was so frustrated. They made the process of signing up for class so archaic that it was like, you can't have me here all day and I still didn't get to sign up for class.
Oh man.
No, I saw people with their kids and stuff. I said, this is, nobody's gonna want to go to school. It's our people. They're gonna be like, forget this. I just won't be doing it. So, it's just, we got to think, education has its pullbacks, but I believe students should go to college too. I know a lot of people are like, just have them jump on doing a business and thing. But you know what? I think everybody needs that social time. And that's why, yes, kids could graduate at 11, 10, 9, but they don't have social skills to help them. You're around, you're in school, not only for the academics, but a lot for the social, to learn how to interact with people. So I definitely think that's important. And then the friends and the contacts you make. I mean, I'm so close to a lot of my college friends. So, and I have like 5 of them. Like, we're like sisters and brothers. It's like, we studied together, we did everything together. So it's definitely helping them to build a network. And then networking. It's a good thing for them to be in school and just go to different events and help with different, help them expand their network. They say your network is your net worth. So you need the variety too of learning different people. Because
Okay.
often in business, and when you do go into a job or when you do go into the career world, it's a little bit of the exposure of what you're getting and how do I interact? How do I become a team player? Because you often learn that in school. You with other people. You can't, it's not a me.
Yeah.
That's not a great way to function. So that's why I think it is important. And those skills that you do pick up. And then the analysis part. I think school teaches a little bit of analysis so that you need to get through and go through this life. So that's where I
Nice.
am with that. So like the homeschooling group, when you do homeschool, because now they have a different outlook. Because not only do they doing the academics, but they do have some, and I know some of them have like great pods and they do stuff, they do trips together. So the students do have interaction, social interaction with each other. But sometimes it can be a little bit jarring since it was smaller if they go to these institutions that are big and wide. Like, um, so that's where, as you go into the world, learning how to be in group settings, and present yourself too.
Okay. And so you're assisting with these things, like as far as your consultations go?
Yeah. So take it step by step. And I also do for the adults, I do student loan consulting now. Um, so helping them to navigate the student loan forgiveness.
Okay.
And learning about loans. So a lot of us that's in our generation have those student loans. So it's helping them too to navigate that. But yeah, so helping with those skills, and definitely building those skills. How do we go into that career advancement? A little bit with the financial literacy, and I have it in the book. But you know, those things take time to dive in. If you want to dive deep, those are longer conversations over time. But definitely, yes. So I can tailor it when you consult and how long and how many sessions we would need to go over this. And depending on what they want, because some people just want you to work with them to do applications, to read the kids' essays and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Those things take time. Like those are we're gonna be in session for a while, and how many applications, they do take time. And if you want that extra help, and what you do, because you want the eye. I think sometimes kids hand in, I don't know, they're not as great with their writing. And I've seen the difference and how the writing has broken down because they do rely on the computer to correct things, but you still have to know different grammatical areas. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and a different eye and what the school is looking for. So they just don't want a student that has straight A's.
Mm-hmm.
They want you to be a person. Did you volunteer? Are you an extracurricular? How are you holding up? Who is this whole person? And helping them develop. And that's why I say we need to catch them from that middle school into high school, so that you know you need to join team, you need to join an organization. You could be an opera bound or extracurricular that's helping you, but you need to do something other than just being there and doing school.
Definitely, definitely. So you do the consultations, you have workshops, classes, tutoring sessions. What
So I
other things
can.
do you
So I
offer?
can. So I can tailor it uh depending on the school. I can do financial aid workshops. I also work in for speaking business for the colleges, and if they want me to come in, I do have speaker fees too that I can come in and do keynotes or do workshops related to college readiness and career success as a specialist through the financial aid piece. So I do that. The college admissions piece for my high schoolers, and then some on financial literacy as well to present workshops for them. Yep.
Okay, nice, nice, nice. And what if tell us about your book? What you got in there?
So the book it is 8 chapters. Um, and it includes, so it starts off with the mindset. So preparing your mind for success. Because I think a lot of times too, students do get knocked down because they're relying and waiting for somebody to be their cheerleader. And you don't
Mm.
necessarily find that. And you may not even find that with your family because they're busy, they're doing a lot of stuff, and some don't understand the process. So there, you have to have a little bit of self-motivation and do things that can build you up, and then find your people. So no, you are going to be successful, and you have to think this. You have to go in there thinking that I can do this. Yes, you can. You got this, and you'll do it. And just keep telling yourself that. Else you will tank. As any little thing that comes up against you, you're gonna be like, oh, this teacher doesn't like me. I can't do this. Oh, fail this test. I can't do this. I'm not gonna come back. No, you have to push yourself. Then the next chapter is being set for the first day. Some of the things that you should remember. Okay, you should go a little early to campus and figure out how are you going to get there on the first day. So know your travel. If you live on campus, know how to get to the building or whatever class building. So go around to all the buildings so that you know your way and you can navigate. You can gauge the time, how long it's going to take when everybody's around, whatever bus you need to take, train you need to take, or driving time, because I know some students drive already. And then navigating the academics. So talking to your professor when you first get your syllabus, going through it and seeing what do I need, what extra can I do to get a little extra boost to. Students don't really think about that all the time, but look at your syllabus. This is what I have. These are how they grade me. And then divvying it up, because yes, it's not like high school, so you won't have 8 different classes that you got to do at once. You may have 4 classes, but some of them may be more demanding. I'm medical students and things. You got a lot of work to do. So some of those lab classes that come with lab, you want to think about those things. Okay, how am I going to divvy this up? Okay, I have to set time aside for this one. This class might be a little easier. My English class might be a little easier. It doesn't demand my time like the other one. So how much am I going to give to this one? And that you do things early and you put them on a calendar. I didn't do that as much when I was in thing, but I had my calendar that I would write down and write in, okay, when is this test? When is this paper due? To keep you on task and keep looking at it. So now you have digital calendars. You can put it in your phone. You can set reminders. So that's a great thing too, to start teaching yourself how to do that. And then the Money Matters chapter, that's more on the financial literacy, what things you can do, savings and things like that. And it's little thing. I didn't dive into the investment part. That will just be, they have to see me to talk more about the investment part. And teaching students how to trade. They can start learning how to do that stuff and those skills without putting money. There's practice accounts, so you can practice with it and build your skills up. And then you can start small, like even Forex trading. Nobody talks about these things. You don't know about these things. But people are doing it to build wealth. How do you think so many people are rich off the market? Like, because there's many different ways to trade in the market. So that is a personal private session where you're consulting with people to tell them more about that market thing. And eventually I do want to have some kind of book, like some kind of little guide, like, okay, these are little things that you can do without spending a lot of money, because you don't have to spend a lot of money for the knowledge. We got Google. This is the age of Google, YouTube. The knowledge is
All
there.
of it. Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
yes,
so
ma'am.
there's no excuse I can't learn. No. You can put in the time, and you put an hour a day and learn one part of it. Okay, learn about this stock. What is Walmart stock doing for you? Okay, you shop at Walmart. What is that stock? So there's a lot of things that you can have and do with them. So dive a little bit into that, but I do the savings thing, the credit cards, watching that. And then the financial aid 101 about the FAFSA, looking at scholarships. And that's something that students too forget after you get into college and you got whatever you got. Okay, you keep doing it every year. You keep getting money every year. So don't forget to do that. Your school has scholarships all the time. There's the career and development offices. Go and visit there too. So you can start learning about these different careers and different internships. If you don't know what you want to do, which a lot of students don't, go and try out different things starting from freshman year. Go out, visit some of these offices. Go and visit if you want to work with kids. Go and visit a school. Go volunteer. Go tutor at a school. And
Yes.
see, ooh, do I really like working with kids?
Right.
Medical facilities, they look for, I don't know if they do it as much after the pandemic, but they did have the candy shop, the kids that can come in and help. Even talking to an older person in nursing home. Nursing homes are always looking for volunteers, so you can talk to the patients. Because some people don't have families and stuff, so they need people to come in and kind of give them that time too. So there's little things that they can do to kind of see the world. And then maximizing the resources on campus. So that's going to your career office. That's getting to know your financial aid people. Um, the bursars, your professors know where they are, where their office is. So you know during office hours if you need to go to them and go and speak to them, that you can know where the tutoring centers are, know where the writing centers are, the math. So that's what I want them to like really dive in, because there's help out there.
Yeah.
Not all the time do you find specific, but you can. And then use their resources too online. Like there's so many Khan Academies, like they do break stuff down if you're having a particular area and there's nobody on campus that can help you. And getting to know classmates, you got to find your people. Pay attention to who's in the classroom with you. Oh, this person seems to be doing well all the time. Oh, you know who's doing well. Get to know them, because they
Right.
may be able
Yes.
to explain it to you better than the professor can. I've had plenty of crappy professors that couldn't explain nothing, and my classmates explained better to me, and I understood them better than my professor.
Yeah.
So that's who you want. That's why you want to get to know people. And they don't have to be your best friend, but you know them. Oh, can you explain this to me? And take the time, because once you're on campus and you could go to the library, they have the study hall rooms. Sometimes there's empty classrooms that you can go in and you can do a study session. So you want to take advantage of that. And then I have 2 chapters, one on commuter student life, helping to navigate that, and then residential if you're living on campus. Some of the things you should bring with you on campus and ways that you can thrive in either of those situations. So there's plenty of us that do commuter, and then there's plenty that live on campus. And then the last chapter is just bringing it all together and wrapping it up
Right.
to help students. So, and it's 41 pages. It's a short guide. I didn't want students to have anything long, because in this age, we don't have time to read long. So
Yeah.
I wanted to
What's
make it
what's the
short.
title?
If you got this, a success guide on your college journey.
Yes, I like that. You got
Yeah.
this. Because you
So
do.
they absolutely do got this. You just have to big yourself up a lot of
Yeah.
times
Yes.
to keep pushing yourself forward. And you're not waiting for anybody to say, no, you got this. No, no, no. You got to believe in your heart and your spirit that you got this. Your parents can't have it for you. No, you got it. So
Yes.
that's what
It's
I want them
definitely
to
all
just
you.
take with them and run with it. Like we can all be successful. School is one of those things that I think you can be so enriched from it. And you can pick up people that
Mhm.
can help you later in life. Even some of the professors, some of my professors, even my school professors that I talk to, and we converse on Facebook, you don't get to see, once you get into that adult life, everybody goes their separate ways. But we
Mhm.
have those social medias that we can, oh, snap, there's what's the name? Some of my high school friends, oh, they doing this. So if I have a problem with this, okay, I'll call them and look them up. Hey, can you help me with this? If my students need a mentor, if the students I'm consulting with, or the parents, if I can open up and I have mentorships. That's why I joined different groups on Facebook and things, because that was something hard to do, because I think
Mhm.
that's not taught either. Learning to big up yourself and expand yourself, you do have to put yourself out there, else
Yeah.
nobody knows who you are and what you got. So that can be a little, but for people who are not, I've learned to speak up because I was in the upper bound, and been doing it all these years, because I was shy. I was quiet in high school. I was really shy and quiet, but I learned to speak up for myself at upper bound. So that is something like you can't sit back and let people just roll all over.
Yeah.
including teachers. If they're not doing what they're supposed to be doing, you have every right to speak up. So it's empowering parents too, because we've had to have a lot of the parents. No, if your child, why is your child taking the same class twice and they passed it with flying colors? That doesn't make any sense because they don't have space in the other. No, tell them absolutely not. Then take it off my schedule. But some people don't know to do that. So, it's empowering
Yeah, they don't
families
know that they can.
yeah, to speak up on behalf of your student. Yes, you absolutely
Mhm.
can.
Yeah, no, I love what you're doing. I love that you're taking the time to guide these young people, because they need it. My last couple years teaching in the classroom, I was with seniors, and so many of them were lost,
Yes.
in the sense of what's next after graduation. They did not know what was next, so that was a lot for them.
And it can be
And so
very stressful.
Yes, even the ones that were college bound and had already got accepted into
Hmm.
college and everything is still okay, what's next? Like they still, were unsure what it was all leading to, or if they were going to be able to navigate through it. And I know I spoke to like ones that are like 20, 21 now, and they talk about their time at 18 and how they just wish that they definitely did have someone else to guide them a little bit more in some of the decisions they were making because they weren't
Right.
sure. And I
So
don't think
lost. And
we
so,
as parents think about that like that. Like, like, oh, you're going to college and that's that. Like, oh, what you need for your dorm,
yeah, and that's
and
it. There's the social aspect too that can like really, really just they dealing with a lot. They thinking about a
yeah,
lot. And you're nervous. This is
yeah,
new. You come
yeah.
from the cocoon because a lot of high schools do a lot for the students. Some don't do
Mm-hmm.
enough, but a lot of them you see your friends. That's been 4 years of the same people. Now you're going somewhere where most of the people that you're with are not coming with you. It's not like it's
Mm-hmm.
gonna be a whole bunch of y'all there. So you gotta make new people. That's so like scary. Like, oh, I gotta make new friends. I
It
gotta
could
speak to
definitely be
people.
intimidating.
Yeah. So
Yeah. They need that assistance. I think we definitely sometimes take our hands off of our young ones too early. Because
yeah,
I still view people that are 25 as young people. Like it's like
they
they still
are.
need,
They
yeah, they still
are.
need that guidance. They still need that support.
Because
I
and
have
then I do want to do a short guide too, life after college. Because a lot of people
mhm,
after they're finished, okay, so they stuck. It was what's next. Okay, I got through college. Oh man, what do I do now? Like, and a
right.
lot of them didn't pick majors. A lot of them were undecided, or they just did liberal arts.
Mhm.
I don't know where I'm going.
But a
Like,
lot of kids, truthfully, are in college just because their parents told them they
I
have to
know,
go to
told them they had.
college. Yeah, they're not in college for real direction. That's why I feel for a lot of them in that regard, because sometimes their passion will lead them way, way beyond just a textbook learning. But they feel that they have to go to college because that is
They
what's
don't want to
been
disappoint
promoted
them.
to them.
You don't
Yeah,
want to disappoint your parent. And some
indeed.
parents push it. They didn't have the education, so they feel like it's so important. But it's the kid that
Yeah,
has to go to school. And that's why I say
yeah,
some parents, you can't push your kid, oh well, you have to go to this school. That environment may not be good for them.
yeah.
The kid, you gotta try to help your kid help them know themselves too. And help them
Indeed.
on that journey and just don't push them somewhere just to say that they're there and oh yeah, they're at the Colombian thing. But that environment may not be good for them.
Yeah. No. You are absolutely right, ma'am. And I'm so happy that, you found it in your heart and in your journey to say, you know what, I'm gonna focus on these young people and help them figure this thing out. Tell them some
Yes.
information that I wish somebody had told me, basically. Or what I learned in my own of my upward
Upper
my
bow.
upward.
Yes,
Yes.
yes, yes. Education as a student and the staff. So
Yes, no,
a
that is
learning journey.
awesome. Yes, I appreciate you and all that you're doing.
Thank
Before I
you.
let you go, can you
Yes.
tell me three or tell us That's great, listeners. 3 things that you would say will help families jumpstart or get on the path of seeking their legacy.
One is definitely always being a learner, always be willing to learn something new, because I think being a lifelong learner, I wrote that a chapter in a compilation book. It's like so important, because that's how it helps us to build our legacy, because like you said, you don't know what you don't. So that's the first thing, just being willing to always being a learner. So what I don't know, okay, these investments, oh, they can help. Okay, what is this life insurance thing? Okay. Oh, do I need to do that? Okay. So just being willing to learn what you don't, and being open, having an open mind to just learning. The second thing I think is knowing, even kids at a young age, you can impact somebody else. So you do have impact on the world, even if you think nobody's paying attention to me. Oh no, somebody's paying attention to you. You have a family, you have a little kid. There's always somebody that you can impact their life. And I think when you build legacy, it's about knowing, how do I impact? How do I impact others? What is my life? And how can that change people for the better too? Like, how are you going to make this world a better place? Sometimes we think, it's just me or it's just my family, but no, we live in a global society. It's not just us. So we have to know where we impact and where we fit in. And then lastly, for me, it's having a certain empathy for people too. As you build legacy and you pick up, I think some people, I think it's the selfishness and it's the cultural individualness to what we bring to the table. So we don't live by ourselves. So being empathetic to others and their situations, and like really looking at it like sometimes, and what brings people to certain places. And then I want them to have a spirit of entrepreneurship if I can, because I think everybody can. From your little kids on down. I see all those kids sometimes when they do the youth thing or Shark Tank, they all these little ideas. Your kids got ideas, and if you can help them fuel it, some of them are activists, environmental, like you push them beyond just, they don't have to be in a box. They can be outside that box. And it's better because their thoughts are not jaded by all the situations they went through. Right. So they have a pure, open heart. Yeah. So that's why you want to fuel that from when they're little and look at what they can do. I saw my daughter at 3, ingenious. She had the diapers, the play diapers, the play cloth diapers. And she used that in her little brain. We had a throw, and she wanted to build it like a skirt. So she took that, and I was like, who told you that? And she took that and she made sure that it attached so that the throw wouldn't fall down, and she could use it as a skirt and walk around and have nice. Kids think of the most thing, and you want to feel that, like, oh, she used her little engineering. So that's a little engineering skill. So how does she know? She's 3. Like, she didn't ask for a pen or nothing. Nope, she came up with it. She was like, this got to close somehow. So she attached those pieces of the diaper to close it. So, we want to take our youth, we want to take our little ones from their little and fuel their little passions. Let them try.
Yes. Bring out the genius in them.
Bring out the genius. Exactly. Absolutely. Bring out the genius.
I love that. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for all
that you're doing. Thank you for having me.
Of course. Of course. Parents, once again, no, this is not a journey you have to do alone. Nope. We have plenty of individuals out here providing resources and educational tools to make sure that your homeschooling journey is purposeful and confidently led in the right direction. So definitely seek legacy now. Okay. Seek out.
Yes.
And know that you can do it. Like her book said, you got this. So homeschool your kids.